We're gonna do Kirtan like about 20 after, 20, 25 after. So we have another 10 minutes.
Oh, take one? Okay.
Yeah. They want to hear more?
Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
So thank you, Francisco and Arno, guest players and Kirtan leaders. We appreciate that very much, and you're always welcome to come back and join us again. So tonight I have the wonderful opportunity to introduce Avadhoot Maharaj from, actually he's been all over the world. I don't think he has any particular place he stays at. And he's been here before over the years. Maybe some of you haven't met him recently because he hasn't been here since last year. And then he didn't have a chance to speak because he was quickly escorted away back to Texas or something he had to do. But anyhow, I've known Avadhoot Maharaj. He's a disciple of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, and then later took initiation sannyas from Narayan. Then he took his sannyas initiation from Narayan Maharaj. And he's been here, I think maybe the first time he came was probably about 8 or 9 years ago at least, maybe even more than that. Very well studied, and we're very, very honored to have him come all the way to OJAI to speak to our little congregation. When I have the opportunity to get guest speakers, I do everything I can to try to make it possible for them to come. So, without me talking any longer, the new program goes now, most of you are obviously aware of this, we start at 7, and then we're going to do like 20-25 minutes of Kirtan, which is what we just did, which is about 7:25. And then we'll have the normal class, we'll run till about 8 o'clock with some questions and answers and things like that. A little extra room, that way we might be able to eat a little earlier, and then if people need to get home, they can get home a little earlier too. So we'll work it out. And so tonight, does anybody know what the topic is tonight? How many people are reading the emails?
Krishna.
Very good. He hedged his bet. Okay, the topic is goodness, the good, the bad, and the passionate. And it's a takeoff from the movie The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And most of you know good, bad, and passionate is the three modes of nature. So I'm not going to spoil the fun. I'm going to try to find a verse. I asked Maharaj if he wanted to speak from a verse. He said, just pick anyone. So I'll pick one. And I guess I'm just going to turn it over to you. You got that microphone in the controller? It's not staying put, right? I've been needing to fix that. Okay, let me see if I can help you. For some reason, this doesn't seem to Okay, so thank you very much. Take it away.
So first I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. My mother wherever you come from. I just came back from Los Angeles, and then from Reno, Los Angeles. And we'd like to first chant some mantras for invocation, which later I'll explain. Mukam Guru Kilakalam Bangamanayajiram Tatpipadam Vande Shivaram Divatanam Guru Guru Chandraya Radhikaya Taraya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Harabhaktaya Namo Namaha Namo Mahavarnaya Krishna Prembalayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namado Krishna Shri Chaitanya Manodistam Shtapitam Jena Vutale Swayam Rupa Kalamayam Tarakishva Padantikam Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinavandu Jagapate Gopisha Gopika Kanda Virara Kanda Mosute Yapta Kanchana Gora Viradhe Vrindavan Ishwari Vrishabham Shutale Pranam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Chittastagamalitharam Namaji Kripa Mahitvam Sharmam Brahmana Yadayamashte Chanmaravim Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, I'll explain just one verse and then we're going to chant one sloka from Bhagavad Gita. The first verse I recited. Om Aganathamalandasya Kyananjana Salakaya Chakshurindritamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha means, therefore I'm offering my respectful obeisances, humble obeisances to my spiritual master, who has opened up my eyes, which were closed and covered by the darkness of ignorance. So, we're going to chant the Sanskrit sloka, or verse, of the Bhagavad Gita. How many have read Bhagavad Gita? Most of you. So you know Bhagavad means God, supreme, absolute truth. And Gita means in Sanskrit song. So it translates as the song of God. There are 18 chapters, and Krishna spoke to Arjuna the Gita more than 5,000 years ago in the midst of the battle of Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra is a field in India. If you go to New Delhi, you take the transport or train or any transport north, I believe around 4 hours, maybe more, you will come to this field of Kurukshetra. This is where the battle took place. And before the battle began, Krishna had to speak to Arjuna because Arjuna was about to drop the ball, so to speak. Although he was a warrior, trained as a fighter, and he saw so many opponents that were very dear to him, like his own guru, Dronacharya, his own grandfather, Bhishmadeva, his cousin brothers. Because of his soft heart, he declined to fight and put down his bow called Kandila. So at that point, Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to encourage Arjuna to engage in the battle, which was a righteous war, in the sense that Arjuna's family had been persecuted and denied access to their rightful claim. So, all right. So I guess we'll read the translation first until Maheshwar puts the Sanskrit back. The embodied spirit, master of the city of his body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature. So now we'll chant the Sanskrit sloka, right? So what I'll do is chant each word first. Na,
No,
never.
never.
Kartitvam,
Kartitvam,
proprietorship.
no,
Nor.
Karmani,
Activities. Lokasya, of the people. Srijati, creates. Prabhu, the master of the city of the body. Na, not. Karma phala, with the results of activities. Samyogam, connection. Swabhavaha, the modes of material nature. True. But Pravartate, act. Right. So now we'll chant verse or line by line the sloka which Krishna spoke. So all this is very poetic, and Krishna composed these 700 verses instantaneously and spoke them to Arjuna. So try to repeat after me. Na kartitvam na karmani. Once again. Na kartitvam na karmani. Lokasya shijati prabhu. Lokasya shijati prabhu. Nakarma phala samyogam. Swabhavastu pravartate. Can we go through it once more? Nakartitvam nakarmani. Lokasya shijati prabhu. Nakarma phala samyogam. Swabhavastu pravartate. Would anybody like to try chanting line by line?
Na karitam na karmani.
Nakartitvam nakarmani.
Lokasya Srijati Prabhu
Lokasya Srijati Prabhu
Na Karma Phala Samyogam
Dharma Palasamyogam
Swabhavastu Pravartate
Svabhavastu Pravartate.
Yes. Yes.
Kartrivam the karmani.
Kartrivam Nakarmani
Lokasya Srijate Prabhu.
Lokasya Srijati Prabhu
Na karma phala samyogam.
Karma Phala Samyogam
Swabhavastu bhavartate.
Swabhavastu Pravartate.
Anything else?
Na
Ladies?
kartyam na karmani
Karmani
lokasya srijati prabhu
Lokasya Srijati Prabhu
na karma phala samyogam
Na
Karma Palasamyogam
swabhavastu pravartate.
Svabhavastu Pravartate.
Right. So now we're going to explain a few things to get an understanding of what Sri Krishna is speaking about here. So first, offer my most humble and respectful obeisances to my spiritual master, who you can see here in the picture, Bhakti Now, Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tamani, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gaura Vani Pacharane, Nirashasha Shanivari, Paskatya Adashata. So, in Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, as you may know, came to this country in 1965 and established his society the next year in 1966, which he called International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Having come from a town called Vrindavan in India. Has anybody here been to India? Okay. Have you been to Vrindavan? No? Okay. So Vrindavan means forest, and Vrinda is a name for Tulsi, a very dear devotee of Krishna, who in this world takes the form of a beautiful plant. So the forest of Vrindavan is Vrindavan. And Vrindavan is actually a replica of the spiritual Vrindavan. Spiritual Vrindavan is not affected by the three modes of mature nature, which was just mentioned in the translation of this verse. And as Krishna was saying in this verse, everything is actually conducted in this world by these three modes of mature nature, which are Rajagun, Tamgun, and Sattvagun. Sattvagun is goodness, Tamagun is ignorance, which Maheshwara is translated as bad, and Rajagun is passion. So these three modes of mature nature affect the minds of everyone who is living in this world. And in spiritual Vrindavan, these three modes are totally absent. Because there, everything is conducted by Yogamaya, the spiritual energy of Krishna. The converse of the Yogamaya is Mahamaya. So that Mahamaya, or laws of nature, is what is the quick and the fast that makes everything happen in this world. Both good and both bad. So, in this Vrindavan, in the spiritual world, it is a transcendental place. And there, Sri Krishna is the cynosure of all eyes, the focal point. Everyone has a particular relationship with Krishna. Their personalities, there are even women called gopis, men called gopas. It's like, trees, plants, animals. But there's one thing that is not present, that is death. And also old age, also no disease, and no birth. It is the land of freedom. So that Vrindavan is reflected in this world, in the city or town of Vrindavan, where Prabhupada was living before he came to the West. So that replica, for those who are devotees of Krishna, is non-different from the spiritual Vrindavan. Because Krishna appeared there and performed his transcendental pastimes, which are called Lila. Lila means pastimes. And Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in Sanskrit, Purusha means male person, and Uttam means the greatest. So Lila, Purushatam, means the Supreme Personality of Godhead's transcendental pastimes. So these were all performed in the land of Vrindavan, although at the age of 11, Krishna left Vrindavan for another place called Mathura. But still, because his pastimes were performed in Vrindavan, in the early years, many devotees live in Vrindavan because they can remember Krishna by very easily, where he performed pastimes of lifting this hill Govardhan for 1 week on the left pinky of his hand, where the river Jamuna flows, where he danced on the heads of a serpent called Kaliya, and where all the dust is called Raj. Transcendental dust, because Krishna's lotus feet, was touching the earth. So Prabhupada came from that Vrindavan to New York City via Boston with 40 rupees. If you look on your internet, you'll see how much 40 rupees is equal to US dollars.
$12 at that time.
Huh?
About $12 at that time.
$12 at that time.
Yeah.
Now, not even $1. So $12 he says at that time. And spiritually he brought a great wealth. The transcendental knowledge of the Vedas, Vedanta. So the Vedas are the oldest scriptures written in Sanskrit. We just chanted a Sanskrit verse. So Sanskrit never, developed like most languages developed gradually, more and more, became more and more refined. Sanskrit was actually perfect from the beginning. There was no changes to be made. And we can trace out, if we look at modern languages like Greek or Hebrew or Latin, the connection to Sanskrit. So Sanskrit is actually the original language. So when Prabhupada came, he brought his translation of Bhagavad Gita and his translation of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is up here on the shelf. So Bhagavad Gita is the words of Krishna, which we just spoke. And Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, is spoken by Sukadeva Goswami about Krishna and about his devotees. So these two books are essential reading for anyone who wants to understand Krishna Bhakti or devotional love of God. So Bhagavad Gita, there are many, many translations. More than almost 1,000, I think. But the reason Prabhupada put on his Gita or Bhagavad Gita as it is because there must be a line of authority for people to get the actual meaning of Bhagavad Gita. This is called a parampara, reciprocal succession, or also a sampradaya. So if you look at Bhagavad Gita, you'll see there's a list of spiritual masters. Krishna being the original guru, Jagat Guru. And from Krishna, Brahma in our lineage, Brahma, the original person in the universe, according to this Srimad Bhagavatam. And Brahma is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Bhunaloka, Puna Avartina Arjuna. Krishna spoke to Arjuna that from the highest planet in this world of Brahma to the lowest planet, all our places are repeated birth and death. So even though Brahma is the oldest person, is still living, and still has trillions of years to go, eventually he has to die. So therefore, this mature world is the world of death, which we call in Sanskrit Mrityu Lok. Lok means place and Mrityu means death. Right? Like you remember Jim Morrison? What did he say? Nobody gets out of there alive. And of course he died too. Yeah? We all have to face with death. But in the spiritual world there is no death. So, therefore our objective, and the objective of Bhagavad Gita, is to carry us to that world of deathlessness. And why? Because you are the Atma. You are the soul. The body is doomed to die. But the body is just the vehicle for the soul. It is not the self. The body is something like a car, that you sit in and use, but you don't identify with your car. I'm a Ford or I'm a Chevy, Although sometimes people get smashed from behind on the road and say, "Oh, why did you hit me?" One person could say, "Well, I didn't hit you, that's your car." So, this identification of the body is due to our false ego, which we call in Sanskrit ahankara, the hard knot of misunderstanding. So by accepting the process of bhakti yoga, this misconception of bhava identification can be removed. The false ego of thinking I'm a product of matter can be removed. And the restoration of the consciousness that I am spirit, Aham Brahmasmi, can be inculcated. And higher than that, Jiva Swarup Nitya Krishna Das. I am actually a servant of God, eternally. So, therefore, we have to learn the basic dynamics of reality from a guru who knows things as they are. And Krishna tells Arjuna this very fact. Tasmad guru bhajite dignashu uttama. Arjuna, to understand the truth, you must surrender to a bona fide spiritual master in order to understand the truth. So, before we were just mentioning a lineage of gurus who delivered the message of Bhagavad Gita as it is. We cannot access Brahma. He is on the highest planet of the material universe. And from Brahma, the knowledge came to his son, Narada. Narada is living, he's like a transcendental spaceman. But for practical purposes, we need somebody who can meet in this world, and even better in California, and even better in Ohio. You know? How do we understand the absolute truth? How do I learn the science of devotion to God? How do I transcend mortality? All these things must be understood from a person who is a devotee, who has understood these things. Tasmad guru bhajite dignashu uttama. The Bhagavatam, the Gita, all the Vedas say you must search out a guru who can deliver you from this world and stir up a passion to know and understand who you are. So therefore, if it comes to a point in your life where you actually are sincerely searching, then because Krishna is the Paramatma, that is the Supreme Soul, living within the hearts of everyone, he can know the pulse of your consciousness immediately. As soon as your interest goes towards the spiritual side, then you are drawing Krishna's attention. Because most living beings are cut up completely by these three modes of material nature. They're in like a phantasmagoria. Just like when you walk into the movie theater, you pay your $10 or whatever, the lights go down, and then the cinema starts to play. And you enter into the drama of the characters. And it's moving your heart, moving your mind. So in this way, you're completely enthralled with the movie. So similarly, we are living until we actually come to the point of surrendering to a guru in a movie, you know, where one of the characters, our friends, our parents, so many different characters, all conducted by these modes of material nature, passion, ignorance, and goodness. So this is Krishna's operating system for the material world. Okay? You have Chrome, you have Firefox, you have Explorer. Those are browsers for viewing the internet. So we have Krishna's operating system, Maya. Maya means illusion conducted by these three factors, Rajaguna, Tamaguna, Sattva. So by good fortune, one actually comes in contact with a bona fide spiritual master. Parmanda Bhavane, Khan Bhagwan Jeev Guru Krishna Parsad Pai, Bhakti Lakhi Beach. The Vedic scriptures say, Brahmanda means this universe, entire universe, and Jiva means the soul, that's us. Jiva means a spiritual particle of spirit. So this spirit accepts different bodies within the domain of this universe and executes his activities under the control of these modes of nature. So, Brahmanda Bhavane Konvan Jiva. The Jiva, the us, the soul, is wandering throughout the universe, up to the higher planets, down to the lower planets, through the 8,400,000 different species of life. According to the Sanskrit Vedic literature, there are 8,400,000 species. 400,000 of those are human species. So there's an evolution of consciousness. According to the consciousness, a living being gets a body. If his consciousness is very low, he takes the form of a plant. If his consciousness is a little higher, maybe he takes birth as an insect. A little higher, he takes birth maybe as a bird or a fish. But eventually, if his consciousness evolves mechanically through all these lower species, the soul will enter into the human species. So the human species gives an opportunity, prime opportunity, to be freed from the world of illusion, control of mind. If the opportunity comes to hear from a bona fide guru who knows things as they are. Which means also there's a possibility you will hear from somebody who's a guru who doesn't exactly know how things are, who may pretend to know things as they are. So how do you know the difference? Who is bona fide, who's not bona fide? Therefore, the answer is you find someone who comes in a bona fide lineage of spiritual masters who are delivering the same exact message as was spoken by Sri Krishna. So that is the check to ensure that who we're hearing from is bona fide and what we're hearing is also bona fide. So when somebody speaks, therefore, a sincere, intelligent person will say, "Can I ask you, before you speak, dear sir, what is your sampradaya? What lineage do you come from?" So if somebody is bona fide, he will say, "I am in the Brahma sampradaya," or "I am in the Shiva sampradaya," or "Lakshmi sampradaya," or "Kumar sampradaya." Because in the Vedas, there are many Puranas. Puranas means histories. So in the Padma Purana it says there are 4 sampradayas or lineages which are accepted as bona fide. Those 4 are from Brahma, from Lakshmi, from Shiva, and from Sanatkumar. So if your guru comes in any of those 4 lines, then he is considered to be bona fide. So therefore, this is the key, one of the keys, towards understanding the truth. You know? And of course in OJAI, everyone knows, we have many spiritual organizations. In California, so many. You know? So to filter out and save yourself time and energy, we want to know who the speaker is or guru if he is coming in one of these 4 lineages. If he is, then we know, all right, let me hear what you have to say. So, Bhaktivedanta Swami, my spiritual master, came in the Brahma Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya, because also in this line appeared Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Krishna appeared in this world 5,000 years ago. He also came in the form of an avatar 500 years ago. That avatar is called Gauranga, or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only 500 years ago. And he, brought out in the public this Hare Krishna Mahamantra Sankirtan as the process for achieving divine love of God, the process for removing the control of the modes of nature on the consciousness, the process of achieving freedom from the reactions of our karma fall. Karma means activities and fall means the fruit. Right? And later on in Gita chapter 15, Krishna explains a tree of karma, where there are fruits of good reactions, fruits of bad reactions. If we do something good, a good reaction. If we do something bad, then we get a bad reaction. And as you sow, so you reap. So, our activities in this life that we're feeling good or pleasure, bad or unhappiness, is generated from what we did in a previous life. So the results of one life are put into the next life. And those reactions we have to accept. So like somebody deals you a deck of cards and a table, and you pick up the cards, and that's what you have to deal with. So similarly, whatever we're experiencing in this life was generated by what we did in the previous life. So we can't blame anyone or anything for our condition, because we are the ones that created what we have here. Alright? So now, the spiritual master is the key for everything. Arjuna is told by Krishna 3 things. When you meet the spiritual master, you should inquire from him very submissively. You should surrender to him. And seva, you should serve him. And then the self-realized soul will reveal everything to you. So there's a verse, Vishapashah Bhagavad Vishapashah Nagati Gopi, that by serving the spiritual master, one will please the Supreme Personality of God. Without serving the spiritual master, there is no way to satisfy the Supreme Lord. So even Krishna is accepted as the Supreme Personality of God in Bhagavad. And he is declared to be Bhagavan, or the Supreme Lord, by so many powerful sages. And yeah, Sri Krishna, to give an example for others, also accepted a spiritual master. So that we know, yes, even Krishna accepted Guru. So we should follow suit. We should find a spiritual master who comes in a bona fide disciplic line. We should inquire from him. We should surrender to him and we should serve him. So, these three factors come after you examine the Guru. So the Vedas also say, for 1 year, you should examine the spiritual master. And for 1 year, he should examine you to see if you are actually sincere. Right? So it's not something that's taken lightly. It's the most serious point of life. Because the Guru can give you God. The Guru can reveal who you are. The Guru can deliver you to the spiritual world. So therefore, if we find someone in bona fide lineage, disciplic obsession, who's speaking out the truth, we should come, we should meet him, we should serve him, we should inquire, what is the purpose of life? What am I doing here? What am I supposed to be doing here? If he gives the answers, you can record it, you can think about it logically. And then, gradually, as things make sense, we should serve him. So this is called seva. So because we cannot see God with these present eyes, we are given the opportunity to see the Guru, who is the ambassador of God. We can see him, we can touch him, we can hear from him. So God manifests as Guru. And then Guru manifests God. That's how it works. So therefore, you can see on my neck a collar. So initiation is called Diksha, when the Guru gives you, accepts you, and gives you mantra. So Guru has the power to invest knowledge and liberation in anyone who hears from him. So when he speaks a mantra into your ear, and you repeat that mantra, then all the trash in your mind, all the garbage that's covering your understanding is gradually dispersed. And the clearing comes. The dawn comes. You waken up and you feel relief, so much relief. So that point, if it's come in your life, wonderful. If it hasn't come, then you should try to augment it. That's my turn. So in 1970, that was the point I took initiation. And so I graduated from USC, USC, Los Angeles. And I was living with my parents who lived in San Francisco. And one day, I went to Berkeley. You know Berkeley? Famous college town. So on Telegraph Avenue on Main Street, I heard people singing, like they were doing previously. Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. And they were very joyful. They were standing in a circle at college and Telegraph. And my mind just contemplated, and tried to figure out what they were doing. And then later, again, I went to San Francisco. There was an art show. This is around 1969. And devotees, again, I saw chanting. And wow, very interesting. And you could see they were very surrendered. They were a very tight group. And my mind thought, if I ever get to the bottom of the barrel, I think I'm going to join them. If my plans for material success do not manifest, I had a degree, Bachelor of Science. I thought it was something, but I had no idea what I wanted to do. So, anyway, I had a father who was a pilot. I said, can you give me a ticket? I just want to travel before I start, entering into the workforce. So I flew to Australia. Before I flew off, in a little town which is south of San Francisco, I found a magazine called Back to Godhead, which Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada started publishing to, propagate the message of Krishna. And I read two issues, 2 months, appeared in a newsstand. So when I went to Australia, there were different dynamics. Because Krishna says that one can actually enter into Krishna consciousness once his sinful activities have been eradicated. They'll come to a stop. So, Bhaktivedanta Swami, before he initiated a disciple, he asked that they become vegetarian. He asked if they could stop taking any kind of intoxication, and also stop any sort of gambling activities, and also any, recreational sex or extramarital sex. So in my life, I had, when I left, I left behind family. I had a girlfriend, I loved her. And I had began meditating. There was a popular movement in those days, and so I took a mantra for meditating. So I was meditating, but most people in the meditation group were vegetarian. So I had stopped eating meat. And, that initial beginning may be a prime candidate. Because when I got to Australia, I met, after 1 week, within 1 week, I met devotees who were just establishing the first center in Sydney, Australia. So, if there is a desire, even a slight desire in your heart to know the truth, because Krishna is sitting, he will push the material laws of nature aside and start giving you a hand to pull you out. This is called Antaryami. Antaryami is the Guru within. Antar means in, inside. So inside your heart, you already have Guru. When that Guru in the heart manifests externally before you, that is your spiritual master. So Krishna is the Guru. Krishna will deliver you in the form of the Guru. So, as time progressed, I went to the temple in Australia and met devotees. I was taking Prasadam. Prasadam is another key for the living entity to get out of material existence, because it is not food of the material world. Once vegetarian food is offered to Krishna, he accepts it, it becomes Prasadam. Patram pushpam param taryam yomi bhakta prachati tarham bhakti upam Krishnami pratapanaha. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 verse 26, anyone who offers me a little food, a flower, a fruit, or some water with devotion and bhakti, I accept it. So there are two modalities going on in basic Krishna consciousness. One is taking Mahaprasad, food is just offered to Krishna with devotion, and the chanting of the Krishna's name. So there is a very famous verse also which describes this process of chanting. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam. Lova, Nasteva, 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 Katya Amrita. The Sanskrit Vedas give everything, and the Guru simply explains those Vedic mantras to us. So Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama means chant the name of God. Chant the name of God. Chant the name of God. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam. Eva Kevalam means actually this is the only way to achieve the love of God in this present time, called Kali Yuga. Kalo means Kali Yuga. Kalo in this Kali Yuga, which began when Krishna left this world 5,000 years ago. Nasta eva, nasta eva, nasta eva, katiranyata. Nasta eva means there's no other way, no other way, no other way. So we have to come to this process. It's simple, it's sublime, it's easy, and it's free. Before, when I was doing meditation, I paid only $35 at that time for a mantra. Nowadays, that same organization charges thousands of dollars for a mantra. But this is not actually the bona fide process. The process is, when you approach a guru, ask for initiation. Once you've ascertained his character is perfect, once you've ascertained that what he's speaking is the same what you find in Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, then surrender. You surrender to him. I want to be your disciple. Will you give me your blessing? Then the spiritual master delivers a mantra, Hare Krishna. You hear it in your ear, and when you hear the mantra from the lips of a pure devotee, it has immediate effect. Because the pure devotee, when he chants the name Krishna, he sees Krishna. Krishna is everywhere. He's in everything. You sort out everything. But only when our heart is purified can we see him. So the pure devotee, spiritual master, he has spiritual vision. So he initiates us with the mantra, and if we chant that mantra, we will achieve freedom and perfection. That mantra will take us out of the material world altogether through the Brahma Jyoti, the effulgence of Krishna's body, which pervades everything, up to the spiritual planets, the spiritual world, to the highest spiritual planet, Goloka Vrindavan, where Krishna is residing. And there you can personally enter that abode in a spiritual form and directly engage in service to the Supreme Personality, all through the vehicle of the spiritual master. So, anyone who has complete faith in the Guru and the Vedic scriptures, then everything will be revealed to them. So, here in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is the direct disciple of Krishna. He says, "Now I am your disciple, a soul surrendered unto you, please instruct me," and then Krishna speaks. So the same thing we can do today. If we meet a bona fide guru, the representative of Krishna is also Krishna. So that we surrender and say, "Look, I want to understand the truth. Can you enlighten me? I'm offering myself at your feet. Please give me your blessings." So if the Guru sees you are sincere, then that connection is made. And once you take initiation, then you're chanting, you're hearing, everything is blessed by the bona fide representative of Krishna and also Krishna. So this is what the collar means. Initiation, the Guru puts a collar of tulsi. This is the wood of the plant tulsi, a very sacred plant. And then gives you also some beads, because we chant on a mala or a chain of beads, also in tulsi. So at that point, you begin to grow. So a little seed is put in the soil, and you get to put water on the seed. The seed fructifies, 2 leaves come out, 4 leaves, 6 leaves. The sprout grows more and more. So the watering process is chanting and hearing, or what we say in Sanskrit, Shravanam, Kirtanam, hearing and chanting about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So that, in essence, is a very simple structure of achieving freedom and liberation in this world, and security in knowing that I have adopted a process that is bona fide, authorized, and proven. So therefore, Krishna consciousness is scientific. Everything has full explanation. Any question is given full, complete details of an answer. All in the Vedic scriptures, which is condensed in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So,
We're a little over.
So,
Maybe 1 or 2 questions, and then.
yeah, I think we'll stop here then. If anyone would like to ask a question, or anything they're not sure about what I said in their mind, then we can try it a bit more. Definitely, we should follow the writings of Bhaktivedanta Swami and other bona fide Vaishnavas who come in a bona fide lineage or sampradaya. This will enrich our souls. So, any questions?
Thank you for coming and speaking with us. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
I would like a little bit of clarification. You referred to the spiritual master in your heart, that once you begin the process with interest and sincerity and some chanting, that you will wake, if I heard you correctly, that you will wake up the spiritual master in your heart?
No, the spiritual master in your
Or
heart.
guru in your heart. Sorry, not master, guru.
This is Krishna. This form is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, as being like 8 inches high, 8 or 9 inches high in your heart, having 4 arms, holding 4 symbols: the conch shell, the lotus, the club, and the discus. The beautiful smiling face, reddish eyes, bluish complexion, black hair. This form is meditated by the process of yoga. If you follow Patanjali Yoga Sutras, he mentions that yoga should be done by meditating on the form of Vishnu in the heart. So this Vishnu in the heart is there. He is Antaryami, the Guru in your own heart. But in our conditioned existence, is ideal when we have a person in front of us speaking directly. And we always may have some intuition, which may or may not be always correct. But the spiritual master who manifests before us, by the grace of the Lord, can directly give us a perfectly clear answer. So when you are at that point of perfect sincerity, or almost perfect sincerity, Krishna sees your mind, what you want. You have the 2 options: spiritual service or material service. That's a choice. We want to serve our material desires, we can take another birth, another birth, another birth on our infinitum. If we want spiritual service, spiritual desires fulfilled, then if we come to the bona fide process, the bona fide Guru, then no more repetition of birth, no more repetition of death. We become freed from this body, freed from disease, old age. We get a spiritual body, and we enter into the spiritual domain. It's that simple. But the process takes time, because we've been conditioned in this world so many lifetimes. Layers and layers of conditioning, false concepts. But because the mantra is, the Maha Mantra is so powerful, it can immediately, correct understanding, just remove all our karmic reactions gradually. The more we absorb ourselves in the chanting and hearing, and then bring us to real perfection of the love of God. So that Antaryami is there now, as the monitor, watching you from within. So if he manifests externally, then that he has reached out to you, he's now about to take your hand and put you on the path back home, back to daddy.
Thank you.
Okay? Any other questions? So, we'd like to conclude with again the chanting. And Prabhu, you did a very nice job. Would you like to chant again? Can you chant a different tune?
No, Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
In a different...
You have another melody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And your friend can also join the harmonica? And then after the chanting, Maheshwar Prabhu has prepared a chanting book for both these, Krishna Prasadam for us to love us. And therefore, there's only 3 things we really have to do in this bhakti movement. Chant Hare Krishna, take prasadam, which we ought to eat anyway, and then do a little reading, studying, to get some philosophical basis of Krishna consciousness. Just those 3 things. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Here's the microphone.
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hey.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All right, very good. Thank you so much. Okay, and thank you, Avadhoot Maharaj, coming all the way from Los Angeles to be able to speak with us. We hope you'll be coming back sometime in the future when you're scheduled to me. A couple announcements. As you know, we're starting the program at 7 o'clock tonight. Mark is also, if you're wondering, he's actually putting this all up on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel called OJAI Gita Live. So if you can't make it and you want to check in on what's happening, just punch in OJAI Gita Live on the youtube.com channel and you will find this lecture and all the other lectures that we've so far recorded. This is the third one. And thank you very much, Mark, for providing this service. And I guess that's it. If anybody would like to, let's go ahead and do this first. This is the Krishna Prashanam prayer. Most of you have seen this before. If you haven't, just kind of follow along. We do it together. Then I'll ask somebody to read it at the end in English. It'll be at the bottom. So if you know it, please follow along with me. Sarira Vidyasya Titendriya Tehika Jivekade Visarasare Karmate Jivayati Lopamai Surumati Kapichit Kapatina Samsare Krishna Padavanoy Karivare Jivachai Swapisadanandivavai Senamritaga Radha Krishna Gunaga Vidako Santanitai Jai. Okay, somebody who maybe hasn't done it for a while would like to read this.
O Lord, this material body is a lump of ignorance, and the senses are a network of paths to death. Somehow we have fallen into this ocean of material sense and enjoyment, and of all the senses, the tongue is the most voracious and uncontrollable. It is very difficult to conquer the tongue in this world, but you, dear Krishna, are very kind to us and have given us such nice prasadam just to control the tongue. Now we take this prasadam to our full satisfaction and glorify their lordships, Sri Sri Radha Krishna, and in love call for the help of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda.
Thank you very much, Robert. That was good. Okay, I think we're pretty much ready to go in the kitchen. We have some nice prasadam for everybody. So as you would like, wander over there. If you're going to sit on the floor, we got some small tables. People who know